first one. So here, if I were to draw these out with integer chips, if I start off with 2 negatives, I need to take away 9 positives. Do I have 9 positives to take away?
No.
So I have to
Bring 0 pairs.
add 0 pairs. How many?
9.
So if I add 9 0 pairs, and then I take away my 9 positives, I really ended up doing what? Adding 9 negatives. So this is the same as -2 plus a -9. Okay, so then which is the same as -8 subtract 4? Cool?
The one straight in the middle.
-8 plus -4, right?
Yes, I can't talk.
Okay. On number 11, if I started off with 6 positives, and I need to take away 2 negatives, do I have 2 negatives to take away?
No.
No, so I add
2 positives.
2 0 pairs. Then I take away my 2 negatives. So I really added what? 2 positives. So which is the same?
The first one.
6 plus 2. Okay, so then which is the same as number 12? Done?
5 plus 7.
Good. Number 13, this one's a little bit different too. So if I started with 1 negative, and I need to take away 3 negatives, do I have 3 negatives to take away?
No.
So I need to add how many more 0 pairs so that I have 3 negatives to take away?
3. 2.
I only need to add 2 more, technically. Because I only need to have 3 negatives to take away. Olivia, do I now have 3 negatives to take away?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I can take away my 3 negatives. So which sentence is the same, that'll give me the same answer of +2? Bryce says -1 plus 3. Does that give me 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have more positives or negatives?
Positive.
Positives, and how many more?
2.
2. So I give you that. Okay, so then which is the same as 14? Ellie, which is the same as -3 minus -8?
The one on the very right.
Oh.
-3 plus 8.
No.
Oh, wait. No, hang on. Ow. It's the -3 minus 8.
No.
The last one.
That one? You already
You
said
just
that
said
one.
that one.
I meant the last option that I
The
had.
last option. So this one, -3 plus 8, yes.
Wow.
Because if I had 3 negatives and I took away 8 negatives, I would have 5 positives left. Okay, here, do I have more negatives or positives? Positives, and how many more? 5, so they give me the same answer. Okay, the next question is going to give us an easy way to find that. So number 15 says, study the pattern in the table, write a rule you can use to find the difference of 2 integers without using counters. Bryce, what do you think?
What I did for the 9 through 14 is I just so like the plus and minus sign, whichever one it is, you change it to the other one, and then if it's a positive, turn the other. If the other number is a positive, turn it to a negative.
Okay, so when you say you're changing the number to the opposite one, are you changing the first number or the second number?
Second number.
Okay, so what Bryce says is he's going to change the second number to the opposite. So here I have a positive 1. What's the opposite?
Negative.
Okay, so that worked. Here I have a positive 9, so the opposite is?
-9.
Here I have positive 4, so the opposite is?
-4.
Here I have -2, so the opposite is?
-2.
Positive 2. The opposite of -7 is?
7.
The opposite of negative 3 is?
3.
The opposite of negative 8 is?
8.
Okay, so we're going to change the second number to the opposite, but what else? Truman?
We're gonna add them.
We're going to add. Okay, so our rule, because here we changed subtraction to addition, and so on, right? We changed all of our subtractions to additions and then added the opposite of the second number. Okay, so
What would be our rule?
our rule is going to be add the opposite of the second number.
I thought you used the opposite integer for the second number if you're subtracting.
You're not subtracting though, you're adding. So everything you said was correct except for the subtraction part you're going to add. Yes.
I thought you add the two numbers absolute values.
That is not always true.
Because it could be a positive number. You can't.
Because sometimes you do add a positive and a negative, which will give you different. So you're going to add the opposite of the second number. And what we do today will kind of reiterate that. Yes.
Mine is different.
Is positive, and you needed to use a positive and negative number. Somebody got an answer that they'd like to volunteer? Levi, what do you have? For number 16.
-7 minus -10.
Okay, you had to use a positive and a negative number. Olivia, what'd you have?
I had 8 minus -5.
8 minus -5. Okay, if we use our rule from above, we're going to say 8. Change this to addition. What's the opposite of -5?
5.
So is 8 plus 5 equals,
13.
did that give me a positive answer?
Yes.
Okay, what's another one, Shelby?
I had 11 minus -5.
Okay, again, if we use our rule, if I have 11, change subtraction to addition, the opposite of -5 is
5.
11 plus 5 is,
16.
okay, one more. Please?
17 plus -2.
So you gotta write a subtraction sentence. 17 minus a -2. Okay, so then 17 change subtraction to addition. The opposite of -2 is
2.
So 17 plus 2 is 19. All of those work. Okay, 17, write a subtraction sentence where the difference is negative. Use a positive and a negative answer. Bryce.
I said 7 minus -3. Oh,
Okay.
wait, no.
So how do you want to change it so that -10 minus 3. Okay, so I take -10, change subtraction to addition. The opposite of +3 is -3. So if I have 10 negatives and I add 3 more negatives, how many negatives do I have?
13.
So that worked. Cool.
I had -5 minus 2.
Okay, -5, change subtraction to addition. The opposite of +2 is,
-2.
so then I have 5 negatives and 2 negatives gives me
-7.
7 negatives. Ellie.
-11 minus 2.
Okay, I have 11 negatives. I change subtraction to addition. My +2 becomes a -2. If I have 11 negatives and 2 negatives, I have
-13.
question. Truman?
Couldn't you just switch those two around and it would be so like that 8 minus -5, couldn't it be -5 minus 8? And it would get a negative answer.
Negative? Yes. -5 minus 8 would give you a negative answer. It'd give you negative what? 13. Yep. Okay, so then 18 says, how is the subtraction of integers related to the addition of integers? What'd you say for that, Bryce?
I put an example, so 7 minus negative 3 is the same as 7 plus
Yes. So say what you said again.
3. 7 minus negative 3
7 minus negative 3.
is the same as 7 plus 3.
Do we agree with Bryce that that's the same? Okay. So how can I write in words so that it applies to every situation? Olivia?
Subtracting a negative or positive is like adding the opposite of the second number.
Couldn't have said it better. Subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. Subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. Yes.
I said when you subtract, you pretty much add, and when you add, you pretty much subtract.